Hi everyone. So today we'll be talking about how to convert fractions into percentage. Okay. So we've learned how to convert decimals into percentage and percentages into decimals. Okay. So whenever we have percentage, always remember it means per hundred. Okay. So per hundred and there is a percentage sign. Okay. So per hundred is we have to multiply by 100. So this rule remains the same. Even if you're converting decimal to a percentage or a fraction to a percentage, you always have to multiply it by 100. Okay. So now, there are two ways to go about it. Let's try to do it by the first way. So, what is the first way? So, if we have a fraction, okay, so if we have, for example, 18 by 25, okay, so if we have to multiply this by 100, okay, and if we are somehow able to divide this also by 100, we can cancel it. Okay, because multiplying and dividing by 100 will cancel its effect. Okay, so what can we try to do is we try to make it as an equivalent fraction with the denominator 100. Okay, so now what do we mean by that? So our end goal is to make the denominator 100. Okay, so how do we do that? What have we learned? Whenever we are doing something to the denominator or numerator, we have to do it to the other value as well, so that we are not changing the question. Okay, so if how do we make 25 into 100? We multiply it by 4. Okay, so if we are multiplying this by 4, we have to multiply this by 4 as well. So what does it become? 18 into 4 is a 72. So now we have an equivalent fraction 72 by 100. So now if we have to convert this into a percentage, we have to multiply it by 100. So this effect gets cancelled and we get 72%. Okay. Okay. Now let's try to understand it more with some examples. Okay. So now here, what is our end goal? We have to try to make the denominator 100. Okay. So what did we do with this? We multiplied 10 into 10 will give us 100. So we multiply numerator by 10 as well. 3 into 10 is 30. Okay. And now to convert into percentage, we'll multiply it by 100. Okay. So to multiply, it will become multiply by 100%. This will get cancelled. So what do we get? We get 30%. Okay. This is just for explaining purpose. You can directly write it as 30%. Okay. Let's look at this example. So if we have to convert 25 into 100, we did this already. Okay, what do? We multiply it by 4, numerator and denominator. So 16 into 4 becomes 64. Okay, and what can we say? This becomes 64%. Now let's look at the last example. So how do we make 50, 100? We multiply it by 2. 50 into 2 is 100. So we multiply numerator 9 into 2 as well. This becomes 18. So it becomes 18%. Okay. So this is one of the ways to convert fraction into percentages. Okay. Now let's look at another way to convert it. Okay. So this is one of the ways we learned. Okay. Just making sure it's not going to smudge. Okay. Now the second way, what we can do is we have a number, okay? We have 8 by 50. So it's a fraction. It means 8 is getting divided by 50. Okay, so what do we normally do? Okay, if we have to divide, we will divide 8 by 50. Okay, and how do we do it? So 50 is greater than 8, so we put a 0 and we put a decimal to be able to get an extra 0 here. Okay, normal division we are doing. Okay, then 50 ones are 50. Okay, then how much we have left here? 30. Okay, then we bring down an extra 0. So now if you say how do we bring down the 0, that we've learned in our division for the decimals or normal fractions. So whenever we've decimal already added, we can bring down as many zeros as we want. Okay, so now what do we multiply it by? 6. Okay, 50 into 6 are 300. Okay, so 8 by 50 can be written as 0.16. So now what does this problem change into? We are converting decimal into a percentage, and the rule is pretty simple. Whenever we have to multiply it by 100, we move the zeros twice. So this becomes 16%. Is it okay? I hope you are understanding. So this is just another way. So either we make it into an equivalent fraction and the denominator 100 and we convert it into a percentage, or we actually solve the fraction and directly move the decimals twice, because multiplying by 100 moves the decimal 2 times. Okay, now let's look at another example. Okay, let's do 9 by 25. Okay, 9 by 25. So here I will divide 9 by 25. So 9 is less than 25, so 0 and a decimal. We make it 90. So now 25 into 3 is 75. What is the remainder? 15. Okay, now this becomes 150. Okay, so 25 into 6 is 150. Okay, so 9 by 25 can be written as 0.36, and now when we have to convert this into percentage, we move the decimal 2 times to the right, so this becomes 36%. Okay, if we had to do the same problem, okay, if I had to solve the same thing, 925 with the first method that we did. Okay, so what do? We try to make this as an equivalent fraction. Okay, so 9 by 25, we have to make the denominator as 100. 25, to make it 100, we have to multiply it by 4. So 9 also gets multiplied by 4 and it gives us 36. And we know whenever we have divided by 100 and we have to convert to percent, we can directly write it as 36%. So either you do this method that you divide, or you do this method, you'll get the same answer. Okay, so it's just a matter of fact if what is easier for you, or if any specific method is asked in the question, that try to convert fraction to percentages using division, or try to convert fraction into percentages using equivalent fractions. Okay, if nothing is specified, you can choose either one of them. Okay, so I hope this is clear. If you have any questions, please write down in the comments below, and thanks for watching. See you in the next video.